fear. That's our subject matter for today. Now, I'm going to start with giving you a definition I looked up. So, the definition is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, a threat, or likely to cause pain. Okay? We all have some form of fear in us. Okay? It is a natural human response. And it can be triggered by something mental, emotional, physical, or all of the above. Okay? So I just want you to remember it is a normal, natural, human feeling, okay? Response to a threat. All right. Now, some symptoms that you will feel, some of them right? Like the racing heart, the sweating, right? The shortness of breath, like feeling tense, nervous, that type of thing. But one you may not know is the inability to think, right? Because you're so traumatized or paralyzed even by the fear that you're unable to think things through, right? And that can make you feel overwhelmed. Now, if all of these things go unchecked, all right, they can cause high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, the list goes on, right? They can also cause anxiety. They can cause phobias. They can cause panic attacks, right? And that can be very painful. But it can also cause depression. And so that fear that has been coupled with panic attacks and anxiety, and then you add the depression on it, it can cause you to have what we call suicide ideation. Now, that's basically thoughts of suicide or thoughts that you would prefer not to be here with us anymore, okay? Now, if by chance you get to that point, I want you to reach out to someone you know and you love and you trust, okay? If you don't have anyone, dial 911 and get you some support, okay? Dial 988, and you can text them 24/7, and they can talk you through it, okay? You're not alone in this, all right? And the thing is, we need you to be here with us. And so 911, 988, reach out to a therapist, okay? We're here to help. But I just want you to know that there is support out there. And we all feel fear. We feel all of the emotions, sadness, overwhelm, all of that. It is natural. It is human. And it happens to all of us. So please, please feel free to reach out to somebody who can support you, okay? Now, I talked about the symptoms. I'm going to talk about 4 responses that we all do. And here's the thing. We've all done this, all right? I call them the big 4. It is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Now, with the fight, it's knuck if you buck. And that's how you face your fears. If it's flight, you running. You out of here. First available, you gone. If it's freeze, that means that you have paralysis. That means you can't think, you can't move, like you're literally freeze in space. Like it's like everything, just your whole system stopped working. If it's fawn, let's kind of like put it in the perspective of getting a ticket from a cop. And you might be nervous that the cop is there and stopped you or whatever. You might flirt with him or something like that to keep from getting the ticket or to stay out of trouble or to make sure he don't ask too many questions or he doesn't get aroused in a way that you could be hurt. All right. So those are ways that we normally respond to fear. All right. And that's natural. Now, I want to share with you the Bible verse that came up for me. All right. I'm going to read it. It is Psalm 34th chapter, 4th verse. And it says, I sought the Lord and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Okay. So like I talked earlier, God is asking us to come to him and have that discussion, lay our burdens on him. So if there's something that you're really fearful of, something that's overwhelmed you to a point where it's caused you some paralysis or caused you to rethink your whole life, you're so overwhelmed, God is there to receive. He wants to talk to you, okay? Allow him to do what only God can do, all right? But he wants you to know he's there. He did not give us the spirit of fear. It is a natural response, a natural human response. But God said that he gave us power and love and a sound mind. That's another Bible verse. But he gave us those things, okay? And so what we have to do is use those things that he gave us to battle this fear, okay? Now, some solutions I got for you. Breathing. Because in a lot of times when we overwhelm, we don't realize that we're not breathing deeply. You're only breathing enough to keep going. So breathe in deeply through your nose and blow it out slowly. It helps you to kind of level out your body responses, your heart rate, and all of that. You do that a few times, okay? Another thing you can do is mindfulness. Now, one thing, an example of the mindfulness would be, say you're having this threat in your head and you're very, very fearful of what's going to happen 2 weeks from now, right? So sit in that feeling and ask yourself questions. Literally question the fear. Like, why am I having this fear? What's going on? Is this a real fear? Is this something that I know is going to happen? And then it kind of takes away the power from the fear, and you get your power back, okay? So just challenging those thoughts always helps you to get to the solution. And a lot of times you realize that wasn't really nothing to be scared of, okay? So just think that through in your mindfulness. Don't shy away from the fear. Face it and question it. Like, why are you here? What's up, okay? Now, normalize it now, because again, this is a human response and we all have them, all right? And the next thing, grounding. Now, this is my favorite one. Normally, I work through this with my clients. It's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding. Now, what you do is you find 5 things that you can see. You literally point them out and name them. 4 things that you can touch, okay? 3 things that you can hear, all right? 2 things you can smell. You have the 2 nostrils. And 1 thing you can taste, okay? When you do that exercise, what happens is it kind of reprograms your brain to think about the exercise. So it takes all the focus off of what you're going through and put it on the exercise. It works wonders. So if you ever get in a situation where you're just really like stressed out, you're trying to calm yourself down, nothing is working, try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. You can find it online. It's really simple, but it really does help you to take your power back and take more control over how you're feeling, okay? Now, the song I have for you today is Hello Fear, all right? Hello Fear, I knew I would see you. You have a hard time letting go. See these tears. Take a good look, 'cause soon they won't fall anymore. God's healing my hurtful places. That seed that was yours now is taken. I'm no longer afraid. See, I'm better this way. And one more thing before you leave. Never again will I love you. My heart, it refuses to be your home. No longer your prisoner. Today I remember, apart from you is where I belong. And never again will I trust you. I'm tired of fighting, it's been way too long. No longer your prisoner. Today I remember who I was, and now it's gone. It's gone. Hello, fear.